what's up you guys, my name is Delon, and I know it's been a while since I made a video on this channel, but the reason for that is simply because I've been uploading more on my gaming channel, MeitroxGaming, and if you're new to this channel or have been a subscriber for a while and never heard of it, then I'll link it down below, and I also hope you guys enjoy the gameplay in the background from Call of Duty Mobile. And first, I just want to say that this game is super easy. Like, granted, I play with controller because it's just something that you can do, and the only thing to it is that you would have to play with people who are also playing with controller, and even then, I always just shit all over them. Sorry about that, guys, but yeah, I think my score in this gameplay here was like 30-3, so I hope you guys definitely enjoyed that. But anyway, let's go on ahead and get right into the topic of this video. But first, I just want to say that this is all just my own personal opinion, and nothing I say is representing who I've worked for, who I'm currently working for, who I may end up working for, and also just doesn't represent my friends or family or anything like that. So yeah, just remember that. So the topic of gun control, banning all guns and all that has been around for decades, and with the recent shooting at that school in Texas, the topic is pretty much already flaring again, and I just figured I should give my own personal opinion on this, especially since that this is a video I've been wanting to do for a long time, but never found enough reason to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, a country where we can pretty much do whatever we want simply because that's what this country represents. Freedom. I mean, being allowed to have a gun is seriously one of the most American things, and it seems like people forget why we have the Second Amendment in the first place. Many people think that it's just simply that we're allowed to have a gun, but there's a lot more to it than just that. The Second Amendment also allows you to have a well-regulated and organized militia, and for those who don't know what a militia is, it's basically a group of civilians in a sort of military fashion, which means that they may or may not have been military trained, and they may or may not have military-grade weapons. Why do we have this? Because back in the late 1700s, the British Empire were hammering on the colonists in what we now know as the East Coast, taxing them for what had happened during the French and Indian War, which happened not too long before that. They were making more rules and laws for the colonists to follow, and eventually it kind of just got out of hand, causing the colonists to rebel in what we now know as the American Revolution. And since we beat the British and established the United States as its own nation, the US government allowed us the freedom of speech and the right to bear arms, just in case they became what the British Empire was back then. History does tend to repeat itself, and people do say, oh well, they only made that bill because at the time they had flintlocks and muskets, but you can't seriously believe that they didn't know technology would progress over time, and if you do genuinely believe that, then I honestly just don't know what to say to you. If you ban guns, then you're basically taking away my right to defend myself, my friends, my family, and hell, maybe even an innocent bystander getting mugged at 2 in the morning. Now, I know people are saying that they just don't think anyone should have a fully semi-automatic rifle, but let me tell you what the problem is with that. Number one, there's no such thing as a fully semi-automatic rifle, alright? Like, most rifles just come as semi-automatic as it is, which means it can only fire 1 round at a time. You have rifles like the M16 that also have a 3-round burst option, but there are also rifles that can be both semi-auto and also in full auto with a switch. So if you switch it to semi-auto, then it's a semi-automatic rifle. But if you flip the switch to full auto, then it's a fully automatic rifle. Secondly, what about the law-abiding citizens who haven't done anything wrong with the weapon? Like, I know a lot of people get really tired of this argument, but it's true. No criminal record, no mental health issues on record, nothing. You're going to tell me you're perfectly okay with taking that away from someone who did nothing wrong. You know, there is a word for that, and that's called tyranny. Finally, like, what if there's a worst case scenario that gets even worse? America is hard to invade already, but let's say someone gets lucky and any country launches a full-scale invasion, whether it's a peaceful nation like Switzerland or worst case scenario, Russia. We have the right to bear arms, and, you know, it's just so that we can have an organized militia in case such a scenario happens. It's pretty much like the old saying, don't go down without a fight, but another thing that can be said is if you don't know how to fight, hand-to-hand or with weapons, then you're not a man of peace, you're just harmless. And criminals, terrorists, and shit like that will gladly play with you, and you won't be able to do anything about it. Now, with the shooting that happened and people already pushing for gun control as it is, people are once again saying to just get rid of firearms because countries with strict gun laws don't have that happen nearly as often as here in America. But here's what I have to say to that. Number one, they probably just don't broadcast it where they are. And number two, even if they did, America has a way of getting their personal news out to everyone through shitty news networks like CNN. And even as a conservative man, even I'll say Fox News is guilty of this also. There's also social media, and with the constant fact checkers going around, it's quite likely they'd filter that information out anyway. Also, there's the fact that it doesn't take a gun to go on a murder spree. Like, a guy can grab a kitchen knife and start stabbing multiple people with it, and that's something just about every home has, even people who don't have guns. What's to stop them if they decide to start murdering people? People also die by blunt objects all the time, like a baseball bat, for example. What's to stop them from murdering people then? Criminals are going to find a way to get their hands on firearms anyway, and even if they didn't, they're still going to find a way to hurt people using the methods I just mentioned. And as a matter of fact, most murders are caused by people with blades or blunt objects anyway. A very low percentage of that is from a gun, and an even lower percentage of that is caused by a rifle or anything like that. Banning guns or having gun control isn't really going to make things better. It's not going to help anything. It's just going to make us harmless to what anyone could do to us with little ways to fight back. You also have men and women who are licensed and trained gun owners that work in the military, law enforcement, or hell, even a private police force, a private military, private hostage rescue, or, whatever. What about them? Men and women who should and would have a gun at their disposal whenever they do their job. What if it wasn't government issued and they had to use their own for whatever reason? Like, I'm pretty sure that's never going to happen, but just think about it. You're going to sit there and say that they can't do their job because you just don't believe anybody should have guns. Or hell, even look at someone like Alex Zedra, for example. And if you don't know who she is, she's the real-life Mara from Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone, but she has an entire room full of privately owned guns because she's a competitive shooter. She always shows that shit off on her channel, right? She hasn't shot up a school or robbed a bank or anything like that, so why should her guns be taken away? How is that fair? Now, I know people also ask, well, what about the kids who shoot up their own schools? The answer to that is their parents. Either they were careless and left a gun lying around all over the house and neglecting their child's mental health, or they just aren't trained in the use of firearms. Firearms 101, guys. If you're not using your gun, keep it tucked away in a safe and always keep the passcode or the key on you at all times so that your child, or maybe somebody even worse, doesn't have access to any of your weapons. I'll end my little rant here with this. As long as human beings are here, there's going to be murders and war, alright? People are going to continue to suck, and people are going to continue to kill. But like I said, all this stuff is just my personal opinion, and once again, none of this represents my friends, family, past jobs, future jobs, or current employers. These are just my personal thoughts, but whatever. This video is going to make a lot of people mad already, and I know there's still going to be people who are going to say that I have no empathy, or that I'm a deranged psychopath who would shoot up a school, when most of these people don't even know what a psychopath is, so, whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm all up for debates and stuff as long as it doesn't get personal, so tell me if you agree with me or not in the comments below, and be sure to like this video if you agree or if you just enjoyed, and also subscribe to both this channel and MeitroxGaming that I'll link in the description below, and let me know what you guys want to see next in this channel. I do have a couple of surprises coming up here pretty soon that I've kind of just been waiting for the right time to show it, so hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, alright? Peace out. Also, guys, I forgot to mention this, but I really just wanted to say that the Second Amendment also says that it cannot and will not be infringed, because as soon as that happens, then that's pretty much a form of tyranny, and the people of America have every reason to fight back and refuse to surrender all of their firearms. And some of you guys may be wondering what my answer to all this stuff is. My personal opinion is that they should have private security teams that are all well trained. I mean, it's definitely going to do a benefit for all of the veterans who are homeless and are jobless and stuff. So have them all well trained, and have them patrolling the schools and a whole bunch of the other places that law enforcement just unfortunately cannot get to. So yeah, just wanted to go on ahead and mention that. Thanks for watching. Peace out.